All right, time for a check of that forecast. We have more high heat today. We're going up to 106 as our high, which means we're on record watch because we'll just come up and meet that record what we set back in 1921 on this date. So if you tune in later today, our chief meteorologist, Brandon Anthony, will have more on if we hit or even break that record. So we are running hot here in East Texas, as we are pretty much all across the board for our area. Longview up to 106, same in Tyler. Jacksonville hitting 107. Mount Pleasant, you guys are warming up to a sunny 104. Lufkin and St. Augustine, same in Groveton, you guys are hitting 103 today. And then as always, Palestine, you guys are a hot spot, hitting 109. And tonight, we are not getting much relief. Tyler, we're only going to 81, which would be a record high low for this date. Longview hanging on to the 70s, only barely though. Same in Gilmer. Mineola going down to 78. Sulphur Springs 76. Canton hanging on to the 80s. Palestine only going down to 81 tonight. So we're not getting much relief. And because of that, we have an excessive heat warning in place for all of the counties that are highlighted in pink. That's all of us here in East Texas. That goes from today, and that just got extended by the National Weather Service until tomorrow evening. With this, what we're worried about is our heat index values. That's our feel-like temperature. It could be anywhere between 110 all the way up to 115 for the highlighted counties. So be sure that you're drinking plenty of water and taking frequent breaks from the heat, and also try wearing light-colored clothing to avoid getting heat exhaustion or heat stroke, because dark colors tend to hold on to that heat a lot more. All right, but let's take a look at our feel-like temperatures. Right now, or around 7 a.m., it's not feeling too hot. Most of us hanging on to the 70s and 80s, but quickly ramping up to feel the triple digits around 10 a.m. today. Tyler feeling 100 around 10, Henderson feeling 103, and then we are only going up from there. Around the peak heat of the day, around 5 p.m., Tyler feeling all the way up to 112, same with Longview. Gilmer feeling 105, Linden feeling 110 today, Athens 105, and Palestine feeling 108. And then by the time we get to this evening, we're not getting much relief either, hanging on to those 90s around 10 p.m. today. That's aggravated by our high heat and our humidity. And this is all coming from an area of high pressure, this big heat dome that we have that's just sitting over us here in East Texas that is pumping up our temperatures. But it looks like through the weekend it's going to start to shift off of us, seeing Saturday a shift in the wind, so it's coming out of the north, which will help cool us down. And then later this week, we have a low pressure system that's going to come in and dig its way over East Texas and bring us a chance of rain this weekend. So here's what that looks like. 20% chance today, mostly concentrated over deeper East Texas. And then we are ramping up, seeing a 50% chance of those showers on Monday, and Tuesday dropping it down to 20%. But that rain is something that we desperately need here in East Texas. This is our drought monitor. This is updated every Thursday, so it was updated yesterday. And our drought from last week to this week has been aggravated. We're starting to see the highest level of drought, which is exceptional, start to creep its way into deeper East Texas, which is something that we definitely do not want to see here in East Texas. Because of the high drought, we also have a red flag warning in place, and that just means our risk of wildfire is very increased. That's due to our high temperatures, which we have sticking with us through the weekend, but then early next week, we'll drop into those 90s.